Hi, Teresa. You want to unmute yourself?
No.
There you go.
Cool.
Yeah, hi.
Hi.
So you are never going to have to worry about missing a meeting. You are never going to have to worry about the meetings that you missed before. You know why?
No.
Because this last couple of days, I've had a number of people come up to me and go, like one lady in the supermarket. She goes, oh, I haven't seen you for a while. Oh, how you been? Blah, 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 all that. And then it was,
Yeah.
you're recording those meetings, aren't you? Because she used to come to them all the way back when I started up here, 2012, and you know, and I've done it throughout the time. And even when I was on the radio, she would be part of the study group on the radio with me and stuff. And she hasn't been coming to these Sunday afternoon meetings because she turns out she just can't make it. So I said, yes, I've been recording. And she said, well, are you going to put them up? Are we going to be able to see them? I go, well, yeah, someday, I guess. And then this morning, I got an email from one of the fellows who's a regular here, and he goes, I'm not going to be able to be there today because I have, you know, grandchildren are coming and all that kind of stuff. But you're recording these, right? And I go, yeah. And so I said, well, and I realized, you know, the reason that I haven't been putting them up is because I look at it and I go, I don't want to, you know, I don't want to have, you know, a bunch of dead air time. And like right now, see, we're recording right now. If I just put it up raw,
Okay.
you know, everybody's going to get to see our little chat, right? It's like, and it's like, this is of course going to interest everyone who starts. We know that. So, so I'm going, well, you know, I should edit it. I'm thinking maybe I should edit it. Oh, I don't know, blah, blah, blah. So he wrote back to me and he said, no, just put it up raw, get it up there. So I said, okay. And I talked to a couple other people too, and they basically said the same thing. So I've taken the first one we did, which was about a month ago, and is now up. And in a couple of days, you'll get an email and link you to it.
Oh, okay.
And
Fair
so,
enough.
yeah, and so then it'll be a playlist, and every time we do this each week, I'll just add a new thing to the playlist.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, so this is gonna be exciting. We're gonna see if anybody actually, you know, when you get on that first one, the first 10 minutes is complete dead air.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Right. I've been enjoying the emails you've been sending, by the way.
Oh, good. Well, I'm glad you like them.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. They're very, very good. Well, Howard's supposed to be here, but I noticed my computer says 6:59, and last week we started about 10 or 15 minutes late. So there might be people that go, oh, I'll just be late.
Yeah, well, if he shows up a little bit late, he'll show up a little bit late. But I'd like to wait for a little bit. We'll get more than just you and me, as much as I love you, but we'll get more than just you and me here.
Okay. Oh. I got your book, by the way. I got the first one, What is a Republic? I don't know if you.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Good.
I
So
did,
this time when we do the review, and I say, okay, who can tell me what a republic is? So Teresa is going to be at the front of the class, right?
I don't think so. I haven't read it yet. I actually didn't get my mail last night. It comes so late, and sometimes I just don't, you know, get it, and then I don't get it till then I'll remember the next day. So then during the day today, I went, oh, I didn't get the mail. So I went and got the mail, and then to be honest, I just was too lazy to read by the time I got it.
All right.
I have my reading. It's sitting there in my reading pile, but I didn't read it yet. So
yeah, I understand. I have a reading pile too.
yeah.
All right,
Well,
Kevin.
Kevin.
Yeah, was that?
I was just saying the name, going, oh, look, Kevin.
Yes, Kevin is here.
Whoever that is.
Kevin is a fellow who was one of the original ones also up here in Oregon when I started. He started with us about 2012, 2013, something like that. And,
oh, wow.
All right, is Kevin going to chat with me, or is he going to? Kevin,
Hey, John, can you hear me?
There you are.
Yeah, I'm setting up the camera right now.
Okay, great. Okay, good. All right, we'll leave you to it then. Teresa and I are just here, kibbutzing.
Yeah, don't ask me what is a republic. I would not be able to just tell you right now. I have information about it. I know you got the aristocracy and the monarch and I forget what the last one is called. Well, I know it's the people, and I sort of remember all that.
Okay.
And that it's artificially an artificial construct of three things that would be a natural thing for people to choose.
Well,
So-
you know more than most. Just in what you said
I'm sure
right
I
there,
do.
you know more than
Okay.
most.
Yeah. Yeah, last week I was like, what? So, anyways.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
Oh, there's-
yeah. Well, we're cleaning it up one person at a time.
okay. Yeah.
Now you're out in Florida,
I think
right?
that was- Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I'm your flag.
So is it like so is it like 100 degrees there yet?
I don't know if it's technically 100 degrees, but it feels like it is. It's disgusting.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know.
That's because the humidity is at 88, right?
Yeah, at least, if not 1,000.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
just
Exactly. Exactly.
You know, you just cope. At this time of the year, I just cope and wait.
Yeah. Right.
For September, October, you start to get a few days where it starts to break. So anyway, yeah, just bleh.
Well, that's what Debbie and I thought about possibly coming and moving out there.
Yeah.
But we just looked at it and said, no, not with the humidity.
I know, and every year I go, this is my last year. I can't take it anymore. And then,
That's funny.
come the next summer, I'm still here.
Right. Well, Marty is here. She's also a fellow Floridian with you, Teresa.
All right.
That's good
All
information
right.
because I've been looking at places in Florida also.
I didn't get that. I'm sorry, Kevin.
I said I've been looking at houses in Florida also. So that was good information. Thank you for sharing that. Gives me
Oh,
perspective.
did it
Oh, yeah.
happen?
Oh,
I don't know. I
the
don't know how much.
winters are wonderful.
Yeah,
The
I don't,
winters are wonderful. And if you can get out to the beach, which I'm only about an 8-minute drive from, it's beautiful. It really is. The beaches are amazing. They really, really, really are. And the water is warm. It's like tepid bath water. So you can go in the water and you don't have to sit there and go, ugh. You just go right in. So there's that. And the
Yeah.
winters are wonderful. But the summers, I'm like, as far as like being away from it's really rough. You just sit there wet,
yeah.
and
If you
wait.
if you can stand the humidity, exactly right.
Yeah.
No, it is.
That's right.
I like it there. I like it there 9 months out of the year.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Wait, you're in Oregon?
I am in
Where are
Oregon.
you?
I am in Oregon.
Oh, Portland or what?
No, we're in
What
Southern
city?
Oregon, right near the California border. Debbie
Oh,
Debbie had family here.
okay. Nice, nice. Yeah, I've been up that way. I lived in California 15 years. I do miss the weather there,
Yeah.
and I miss a lot. There's a lot that I miss. And it's just a long story, and here I am.
Yeah.
Anyway,
All right.
yeah.
All right. So shall we just, we got 5 of us here. Shall we start the review? I'm waiting,
Okay
I'm
to
waiting,
me.
I'm waiting for Marty to vote. Marty says yes. All right.
Sure.
Okay, good.
Oh, the hell's that? Oh,
Howard,
I'm here.
yes. Kevin says yes. All right. All right. So who can tell me what is a republic?
well,
Okay. All right.
I
Marty.
told you a little bit before.
Yeah,
So
okay.
I'm out.
Okay, that's
Alrighty.
fine. Marty, give it a go.
Where'd she go?
Oh, no, you're muted, Marty.
Hey, John, could I ask you a favor?
Okay, so it's made up of the three natural ways of government, which is aristocracy, democracy, and the
Monarchy.
monarchy. And a republic by itself is not a natural form. You have to work at it with these other forms to make it work.
Good.
Oh,
All right.
yeah.
Anyone care to add anything to that?
Okay, this is Howard. This is a written charter. It is for the public good, res publica, things public. It was most precisely codified by Polybius, who was a Greek slave who was taken to Rome after he was captured. But the person who first wrote about republics was our friend Plato
Mhm.
in the book by the same name.
Okay. We're gonna do a
He
little
wanted
correction.
to rule by
Correction
philosopher
on that.
kings.
We'll do a little correction on that, but Marty has a thought.
I still think it's a compact, not a contract. But there you go.
Did I say compact?
You said contract. It's a
Oh,
compact.
loose lips sink ships.
Hey,
So
John,
John thinks it's a contract, right, John?
Who said it's a contract? Who says compact?
Didn't you say it's a contract?
I meant to say compact.
It's
but
compact.
Yeah, either way.
compact.
Either way.
Okay.
It's an agreement.
Did I say charter?
It is an agreement amongst folks because it is the public. Yes.
Very good.
hey, John,
Yeah, Kevin?
could I get your definition of republic? I have my book's in storage, so sorry.
Buy another one.
I tried. We're in negotiations.
Okay. All right. Not that I consider that the Constitution is a compact or a contract.
A charter?
It is a charter.
Charter. Yeah, it's compact.
Because you don't have an agreement amongst equal peers. What you have is a sovereign creating a subordinate, and that's what the Constitution does. Is it creates a subordinate. So there is no contract between the people and the federal government. The federal government is the slave to the people.
Oh, we wish.
Supposed to be. Supposed to be.
Designed.
Yeah, hey, the sovereign in 1787 were the state assemblies gathered to decide whether they would ratify the Constitution or not.
Well, actually, no, the assemblies, no, that's interesting because the assemblies did not. What they had to do is each state had to form a convention within itself, and the people who were at the convention did. It was not the assembly.
That's what I actually meant to say.
Okay.
Not states, not the states, but an assembly in a meeting to determine whether they would ratify or not.
Right, but
They bypass the states.
Yes, that's correct. They bypassed the state government to do that. Exactly right. Exactly right. Which is why Patrick Henry didn't like it. He thought it should be. He thought. See, the original Articles of Confederation were indeed a contract between the states.
Exactly.
Each of the states got together and they all said, okay, listen, we got to work together. This is how we're going to work together. So they made this contract. It was the Articles of Confederation. Then when they said, okay, we got to overhaul this thing, they said, you know, we can't have the states do it. It has to be the people that do it. And when the people do it, then it is then it becomes just because of the way it's written, it becomes an enabling document. It makes it creates something that wasn't there before, which is the federal government, national government, or the general government. So
Well, the Constitutional Convention exceeded its authority. They were to modify
yeah,
Articles of
and if you,
Confederation.
that is one view of it. Another view of it is that because I looked at what the delegates were actually charged with to do, because each state sent delegates or commissioners to the Constitutional Convention with a charter, with a thing. We're sending you to do this, and basically what it was make this form of government better than it was, which could entail reforming it completely, which is what they did do. So there's arguments for it either way. You can argue for it either way. And there are people who say they exceeded their authority, and there are people that say that they were within their authority. So that was what I was going to say on that. So, but there was something else that you had just said, Howard, that I wanted to. Now it's slipped past me.
You'll think of it.
Oh, it's gone. Okay.
Rewind the tape.
Yeah, which, by the way, some people have asked me. I was just telling Teresa this, that this weekend, a number of people have said, "You're recording these, aren't you? Are you going to put them up so that we can see them?" And the big thing of why I was going to do it, or what was holding me back from doing it, is I felt I had to edit it. Like, for instance, before you guys all got on and we actually started, there's about 10 minutes of just Teresa and me chatting.
Oh, cool. I'm sorry I missed that.
So if I just take it raw and put it up, I mean, people are going to. I mean, Teresa's delightful, but I don't know if anybody would want to particularly listen to me. But for all that, but anyway, I asked a number of people, and they said, no, you should just take it up there, put it up there raw. So the first one is up.
Woohoo!
And you will get an email about it in a couple days, and a link to the playlist, and I'll be adding the rest of them. We're on about number 5 now or something.
Yay.
All right. So the review was what is a republic? A republic is, as has been said. Oh, I know what it was. Yes. Actually, Howard. Plato wrote a book, which was called Politeia or something like that. I forget the exact Greek name of it. The definition of that word is the ideal relationship of man to state. That's kind of the idea of Plato's work. When it got to be translated, I think it was Cicero that translated it into Latin. He called it republic. It actually does not define what a republic is. I was rather unhappy when I was reading it, because I was looking for the definition of republic, and it does not have the definition of republic. It has a lot of really good, interesting stuff in it, but it is not that. And when I think I do a little sketch of it in my What is a Republic, the concise definition you were never taught. I talk about Plato's Republic and how it's not really the definition of republic, but what it does do, and it does have some really neat stuff in it. So anyway, I was unhappy, disappointed that it didn't have the definition of republic in it. So and then the Constitution sets up a republic. It has the people setting up a republic, and we can move into the next phase of our review if everybody's okay with that.
One thing.
Yeah.
Actually read Plato's Republic.
Yeah.
when I was 16, so it's been a while.
Okay.
But he talks about rule by philosopher kings
Yes, that's correct.
towards the end of the book.
That's correct.
Did he
Oh,
not
no,
suggest
that is correct. And then
three?
he talks about because people, well, of course he wants to have a rule by philosopher kings. He was a
'Cause
philosopher.
he is one.
He was a philosopher. Hey, guys like me, we should rule because we know best.
So it was really a job application.
Well, it was possibly part of that, but he called it in there an aristocracy. He said this is an aristocracy when you have a rule by philosopher kings, and that is an actual form of government, and it is that. And then he says, however, looking for the good and the true and all that, which is what
And the beautiful,
do,
good,
and
true, and beautiful.
Is a wonderful thing, but it doesn't last that long, and it degrades. When it degrades into what was called a timocracy or timocracy. I'm not really sure exactly how to pronounce it, which is men, instead of pursuing truth and beauty, pursue honor, which is a lot better than some things they could pursue, but they're pursuing honor, which is a good thing. However, they even degrade from that, and then they start pursuing money, and then they degrade from that, and they start pursuing freedom, and that's what becomes the democracy. There's freedom down there, and then when that devolves and falls apart, then a strong man is going to come by, pick it all up, and you're going to have a tyranny. And so that's the progression of, he has a progression of governments that a society will go through. So he never really defines what a republic is. So anyway, I really didn't mean to do all that. Sorry.
Well, I'm glad it was really good. I liked it, and I am going to do a review and get back to you on that. I like the fact that there is a scale of deterioration.
Yes. That was the big thing that he did there. In my opinion, that was what I was. That's my opinion. Okay. All right, so now we're going to start looking at the Constitution, if that's all right, if everybody's ready to do
Yes.
that. Thumbs up, anyone?
Oh, yes.
Okay, good. Okay, all righty. And I'm going to share my screen. And now we have, all right, this is the beginning of the Constitution, and part of the review is, they wrote the entire Constitution, and they came back to the beginning of it and said we should tell people what it is that we're doing, because it's just Article 1, Article 2, Article 3. So they tacked on a piece to the beginning of it, describing that we, the people, in order to form a more perfect union and all that, do ordain and establish this Constitution of the United States. And this paragraph right here is what leads me to say this is a charter, because it is a sovereign, we the people, rather than King John, King of England, Duke of Ireland, and all the rest of that. It's we the people are performing an act. So they're the sovereign, and then this is the act that we're performing. And in the Magna Carta, it was King John, and he was performing an act. All right.
At sword point.
Yeah. What's
One
that?
way to get it. At sword point.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
One way to get her done.
Yeah. I didn't say. Okay. I didn't say he was a good guy. I just.
All right.
So in this case here, because it's we the people, lets us know that it is the people, that this is for the people, so that it is res publica. It is a republic is really what we're talking about. So we should be looking for then what are the pieces of the republic. All right. We good with that?
Yes.
Okay. So then we go on to Article 1, because there's going to be basically three branches to this thing. You're going to have some part of it that is, you're going to have some part of it that is democratic. You're going to have another part of it that is aristocratic, and another part of it that is a monarchy. So you're going to have these three branches. We have to define what is what. And the first thing, though, that is most important about a republic is that it is run by laws. So the question is, who makes the laws? And so that's what Article 1 is. Article 1 is all about who makes the laws. And it says all the laws are going to be made by a Senate and a House of Representatives. That's Article 1, Section 1. Then it goes into Article 1, Section 2. Section 2 is all about the House of Representatives. And it talks about how they got elected, basically that it is a house of the people, because you count up how many people you have and divvy that up amongst the representatives. So each representative represents somewhat,
2,000.
approximately the same number of people. Talks about some of their things. They have the sole power of impeachment. They choose their own speaker and other officers. We don't have somebody else coming along and telling them how they have to do their business. They get to do their own business the way they want. Then we get into Section 1, Article 3. Section 1, Article 3 is going to be about the Senate. And the Senate did we do the words when we did it before? I think we should do the words. I have on top of my list, I have Kevin, although Kevin is in the middle of chewing something. So Marty, how would you like to do the first word there?
Affirmation, a solemn declaration equivalent to taking an oath, made by a person whose conscience forbids taking an oath. It can be used in the place of an oath, to say you will do something, but without swearing to Almighty God.
Good. There are some who feel that swearing that would be actually a violation of Commandment 3. So everybody got affirmation? We're good with affirmation? Basically the same as an oath, except it says you're going to do it. All right. Kevin, you want to do number next one?
Concur, to be of the same opinion or decision to act or happen together.
Good. And you can do concurrence too, because they're both the same.
No, concurrence. From con, together, and currents, to run, to be in agreement, the act or fact of agreeing together, of concurring.
Right. All right. Everybody good with concur and concurrence?
Yep.
All righty. Howard, you want to do an oath? You're muted right now. However, okay, we're going to, Jean, you want to unmute yourself?
Jean?
All right. All right, go back up.
Oh, I'm unmuted.
Oh, welcome, Howard.
All right,
So you want an oath? God damn.
that is
Anyway.
correct. So
Okay.
you go ahead and do this one.
Oath.
Do an
To
oath.
swear to Almighty God that something is true.
Good.
I swear I'm going to kick your butt if you do blank again.
All right. Thank you for the use of the word in a sentence.
Oh, you're welcome.
All right, and we will now go to Teresa. Teresa, you get to do the Latin part.
Oh.
Ooh, okay. Correct me if my pronunciation's wrong. Pro tempore.
Pro tempore, yeah.
Okay. For the time being in Latin, a president pro tempore serves as the president for the time being, temporarily, until the regular president takes his office back.
All right.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
that makes sense. We're just defining the word there.
Yeah.
All right.
Now, is it always, I have a question. Is
Yes,
it
sir.
always regarding the president? Because doesn't the Congress have a pro tem person
Yeah,
posted?
we're talking about the Senate, and the Senate,
Oh, the
yes.
Senate.
The president of the Senate is the vice president.
Oh, the president of the Senate, right, okay.
We'll find out. I mean, we'll find out that's what it is, but
It says until the regular president takes his office back. The regular president of
of the Senate
the Senate,
Right.
which is the vice president
of the United States, exactly
of the
right.
United States. Okay, good. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Gene, can you do it? Gene,
He's muted.
Gene is still muted. Okay, that's fine. Kevin?
Kevin's muted.
Yeah, but Kevin,
Yes,
There you
yes, sir.
okay, you want to do the 3 classes?
Sure. 3 classes of senators. Senators are divided into 3 groups. Each senator serves 6 years, but a different group is elected every other year. At the end of the 2nd year, 1/3 of the senators are elected for 6 years. At the end of the 4th year, another third are elected. At the end of the 6th year, the final third are elected. In this way, there are always 2/3 who have been around for a while. This brings stability to the Senate.
That's really important point is
Yeah.
they wanted the Senate to be stability, to have stability, to have the old hands there all the time.
Institutional memory.
Yes, indeed. And I think Marty, I think you're up next.
Try to test something to determine if something is true. Juries try the facts of the case brought before them.
Good. Makes sense, everybody?
Yes.
Yep.
All right. All right, good. I got that thumb there, Kevin. Good. And now we're going to go into the actual text of the Constitution. See, where are we at? Teresa, do you want to do this? No. Howard, are you up?
I'm up.
Okay,
Ready?
Howard's up. All right, you want to do the first paragraph here?
Okay, Senate, Section 3. The Senate of the United States shall be composed of 2 senators from each state, chosen by the legislature thereof for 6 years, and each senator shall have 1 vote. And in the column it says changed to popular election in 1913 by 17th Amendment. Some say it was a mistake. Can you think of a reason why?
Well, we're not going to do that right now.
Okay.
Right now, what we're going to do is we're just going to look at what does this mean? The Senate of the United States shall be composed of 2 senators from each state chosen by the legislature thereof. What does that mean? Who chooses the senators?
We do.
Well, in the old days, in the
In the
good old
original
days,
Constitution, yeah. In the
They
original,
Well,
were
we choose the
chosen-
legislators. Yeah.
Portland.
yes, the legislature would. When I sent out
state government.
when I sent out my reminder this morning, I had at the bottom of it a video that we had done earlier when we had the Constitution Study Group.
I
And
watched it.
did you watch it? Good.
I did.
Okay, good. So do you remember there was a discussion about why this got changed?
There was some conflicting visions.
You know,
That's how I
there's
remember.
different ideas about
Yeah.
it, yes, but you want to tell us some?
No, I don't remember. That was
Okay.
this morning.
Okay, fair enough.
Well, this is Howard, and I don't think I watched that. I wish I had now. But I've been listening to these great lecture courses, and one of the ones I just finished said that at the time of the progressive era, in the late 1800s, early 1900s, that the state governments were very corrupt. So they were trying to reform the body of the Senate to make it more representative of the wishes of all the people of the state. That was their argument.
Yes, that is correct. And in the video, one of the fellows who's there, the fellow who spoke up and mentioned this, is an attorney who has since passed away. But he's the one who wrote the book
Gun smoke.
gun smoke in the courtroom.
Courtroom.
Right. And he said, one of the most egregious, worst,
Most horrible.
Decisions.
no, not examples, but one of the most offensive state legislatures, most corrupt state legislatures, was Oregon,
Oh no.
because the Senate seats were up for sale,
Oh.
and
That's
if
right.
if you had enough money, you could buy it.
Mm.
Well, that would help
Originally,
the budget anyway.
I'm sorry.
Would help the budget anyway.
No, it didn't go into the state coffers. Excuse me.
Who got the money?
The corrupt legislators.
The legislators the senators who would vote, yeah, the legislators who would vote for it, who would decide to put this person in. And he, but the point of it, the original point of it was that this is when we were writing, when the Constitution was written, it was not setting up a, quote, federal government. It was setting up a federal system of governments,
Yeah.
which meant a national government and also each of the state governments. It was very much patterned after the what had made Rome one of the most the most powerful, the most successful conquering nation ever up until that time, up until the New World at least. Because what Rome would do is they would go out and conquer a territory, and then they would leave the king and the religion and the customs of the people alone. And all they cared about was getting their taxes. They said, you run it any way you want. You've got your local autonomy in this area. It's just you have to pay your taxes and be with and bow down to Rome.
Yeah.
So so each state or each territory had its own local government that would deal with its local things. And what they wanted to do with the Senate of the United States would be to have each of these local entities, one for New Jersey and one for Delaware, Virginia, and so on, and have them be able to have a voice so that if the federal government came in, or the federal government, I mean, when the national government, what they also called the general government, when it came in and said, oh, we're going to do this or that or whatever, then if it went against the state powers, if the states saw themselves being diminished by it, they'd say, no, you're not going to do that because it's going to ruin us as our own locality. So it was to be a check and balance against an overarching national general government was what the Senate was supposed to be, which is why you had the state legislatures choose the senators, not the people of the state, but the state legislators choose the senators, because then that senator would go there and he would then be beholden, the theory is, beholden to the legislature that put him there. So then when they have something comes up, the legislature says, no, that's going, the legislature back in Salem, Oregon, or Tallahassee, or Sacramento would say, no, that's going to cut our power. We can't, vote against that. So then the Senate would never pass it. So it would have to be a majority of the states would have to think this is a good idea too, in order for something to become law. It, however, got corrupted as was noted, and it was changed then to be a popular election, so that each state their two senators were chosen from the state at large. The problem that we see with that today is that the populations are concentrated in big cities. So the Senate tends to, I mean, it's like in Oregon, Portland elects our senators. We have no choice. You know, I'm in Southern Oregon. I have basically no vote in who the senators are going to be because Portland is going to choose them. And the same thing is true. You know, when I talk with people in upstate New York, when I talk with people in Kansas, when I talk with people all over, it's big cities have taken it over. Yeah, Marty.
My question, and this has been my question for a long time, is, and I don't know if we're going to get to it, but what do the senators do? Because right now it just looks, from my experience, they're just another House representative guy. How are they go in there and they think they're a national person and not a state person, as far as I can tell. Is there going to be something to define exactly what they're supposed to do to keep the states safe?
Well, that's what they're supposed to do, and this is why when I asked this little this little question on the sidebar here, I said, okay, it was changed in 1913 by the 17th Amendment to be a popular vote. Some say that was a mistake. And can you think of a reason why? And
well, I don't know if it matters whether it's a popular vote or the legislators appoint them. The problem is, I think that the senators of the state are not protecting the state. They're protecting the national government, I think, at this point. Am I off base?
well, some do, some don't. And some are just there as a stepping stone to try to be president.
Yeah.
You know, but if they're chosen by the legislature, then the idea was that they would be beholden to the legislature. And when the legislature said, "Hey, you got to stop that because it's going to hurt us, it's going to hurt the state,"
Okay.
then they would answer to what the legislature said. But when it's a popular election, you know, if you can get enough people to be swayed to see it the national way or something, then you're starting to act in a national way, not for the state anymore.
Okay, thank you.
And I think that's part of the problem that we're having with you know, urban versus rural and all that kind of stuff, is because the urban centers tend to all have kind of similar points of view, and so then the senators that are in there have this national viewpoint, as you were saying. I think it kind of leads into that.
Well,
yeah.
This is Howard. I would point out that the senators have committee assignments, and the purpose of the whole Senate is to pass laws or to not pass the law, to vote it down. So I am sick, like Marty, I am sick and tired of all the damn grandstanding that you get in some of these hearings, like particularly the Kavanaugh hearing was the most egregious that I can think of. And sure enough, 3 or 4 of those people on that committee from the Democrat side were running for president.
Yep.
So
Yep.
And did not recuse themselves.
Well, they are. Yeah, they are. The thing is that they are legislators. They are there to determine what. In an ideal world, they would be there to determine what's the best for the country. What would be the best laws for the country to have.
It should be what they should be the best for the state, not for the country.
Exactly.
Because if they're senators, they should be there for the state.
Yes.
The legislatures for the country,
right,
for their constituents. Yeah.
Right. And they are to protect the interests of the state, which is why we had them chosen. Which is why we had them chosen by the legislature. The House of Representatives is chosen by the people. So if everybody gets all up in arms because nobody likes, you know,
Ice cream.
ice cream anymore. They say ice cream is bad for you. Ice cream is bad. We must stop all the ice cream. But there's a number of states that make ice cream. Then the Senate would say, whoa, wait a minute, this is part of
Yeah.
our economy.
That's right.
Got to put Ben and Jerry's out of business.
Oh, no.
But by making it a popular election, they have, I believe they've kind of made it so that the Senate is just kind of it's not rubber stamp, but it's a re-representation of what the House of Representatives does, because they're basically representing the same interests.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Moving on.
Mhm.
All right. Who's going to read this monster? Howard, you want to try that?
Absolutely. Immediately after, they shall be assembled in consequence of the first election. They shall be divided as equally as may be into 3 classes. The seats of the senators of the first class shall be vacated at the expiration of the 2nd year, of the second class at the expiration of the 4th year, and the third class at the expiration of the 6th year, so that 1/3 may be chosen every 2nd year. And if vacancies happen by resignation or otherwise, during the recess of the legislature of any state, the executive thereof may make temporary appointments until the next meeting of the legislature, which shall then fill such vacancies.
Right. So this is the 3 classes that we actually talked about before, and it does have the addition of if the senator dies or is convicted of bribery or whatever and can't be in the Senate anymore, who is it that's going to? How do they get how does the state get its second senator? Because one of the concerns was having any state not having both senators available, so they would have less representation than they should.
The governor would temporarily appoint someone until the
Until the legislature comes back, right? And when you see,
Right.
when we go to the 17th Amendment, you'll see that this has been changed. Instead of being the governor assigning it, there is a new election made and stuff like that. Okay. So, any questions on that? All right. Gene, you're still muted. Would you like to unmute yourself? All right. Good. Teresa, you having fun yet?
Yeah, all
Good.
very interesting.
All right.
Okay,
Good. You ready for the next paragraph?
sure. No person shall be a senator who shall not have attained to the age of 30 years and been 9 years a citizen of the United States, and who shall not, when elected, be an inhabitant of that state for which he shall be chosen.
Good. So what are the qualifications of a senator? You have to be
Yeah.
30 years old,
30 years old. Good. What else?
9 years a citizen,
9 years a citizen. Good. And somebody other than Howard, what else?
Must live in the state that he's chosen from,
That's
despite
correct.
the double negatives, which never are not good.
Yeah, it's got me confused. I'm having to think for a second on that.
No, that's right.
Oh.
No, that's right. You have to read through it. You have to, that's right. That's
Yeah, you
exactly.
clarified that last time for me.
Yeah, it is the double negatives. Exactly right. Kevin. Oh, Kevin is not there, right? Okay. Oh, no, yes, he is. All right. You want to do the next 2 here, right, Kevin? Right there.
Yes, will do. The Vice President of the United States shall be President of the Senate, but shall have no vote unless they are equally divided.
Okay, we'll just stop right at that point. Okay, so who's the President of the Senate?
The Vice President of the United States.
Very good. And does he vote?
Only if there's a tie.
All right. All right, Kevin, go ahead.
The Senate shall choose their other officers and also a president pro tempore
Yep.
in the absence of the vice president, or when he shall exercise the office of president of the United States.
Right, because if he's being the president of the United States, they can't have him also being president of the Senate. That would just be a little too much.
So the president now why do they say pro tem instead of pro tempore or however you pronounce that? But they just say pro tem.
Yeah, well, I don't know.
Anyway,
Not being a Latin scholar, I don't know. And Teresa, if you find out that I pronounced it incorrectly, I expect you to come back and let me have it.
but the question is for me is, so this is somebody that is going to be there when the vice president's not there, and who selects the pro tem guy? The Senate, as a general, the whole Senate selects them. Okay, so it's pretty much the majority party.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, exactly. Okay. All right, let's see. Who's up? Marty, you want to read?
Sure. The
All right.
Senate,
There we go.
the Senate shall have the sole power to try all impeachments. When sitting for that purpose, they shall be on oath or affirmation. When the President of the United States is tried, the Chief Justice shall preside, and no person shall be convicted without the concurrence of 2/3 of the members present.
All right, so this is, the House can say, you're a bad president, or you're a bad judge, or you're a bad Secretary of State. But that doesn't mean anything. It has to go over the Senate. The Senate has to listen to it and try it. And when it's the president, why do you think that they have the Chief Justice is Marty's not allowed to answer this because it was in the video. When the President of the United States is tried, the Chief Justice presides. How come you can't have, the President of the Senate preside during that?
Well, because since they run as a team, according to the 12th Amendment, I believe it was, that changed it, or the 11th, one of those. He would be very much supportive of the president. I would say they're trying to get a neutral third party in there who is disimpassioned, doesn't have a dog in the fight. That's why.
Yeah, either because he wants the president to stay there because he's his partner, his buddy, or he wants to kick the guy out because he wants the job.
Oh, there you go. Wow.
Yep.
All right. This is a real cool little line right here. I like this one right here. Let's see.
Bring it back up to the
Teresa,
top.
would you like to do that?
Did you say me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Judgment in cases of impeachment shall not extend further than to removal from office and disqualification to hold and enjoy any office of honor, trust, or profit under the United States.
Okay.
The party-
Hang on, just right from this point. This is real. This is what do you think that they were trying to do here? What are they trying to solve? What are they trying to do with this? Why are they saying this right here? Why can you only remove him from office and disqualify him from holding any other office in the under the United States?
Well, I think, first of all, that it's not the judicial branch of the government that's trying to keep that separate. That's my first thought. I don't know.
Okay, that's fine. I wasn't asking you, Teresa. I was asking anyone. But thank you for
I know.
answering.
Heard of any-
Well,
Anybody have any thoughts on it?
I have some thoughts.
Yeah.
The point is they're just trying to kick him out of the job and maybe saying you can't do this anymore. I think that they're leaving room there for prosecutions in courts.
Well,
If
that'll be later in this paragraph. That'll be
well,
later in this paragraph.
if there were criminal acts that were so bad that they're kicking him out of office,
Okay.
that's my theory.
All right.
Well-
No, that's good. That's good. That's good.
But that sentence just says that their whole thing is to remove him from office.
Right.
That's all they are to do right there.
That's all they can do. Exactly right. And now the reason for that is because Parliament, British Parliament, used to try cases, find people guilty of treason, and not just remove them from office, but take all their land, exile all of their children.
Remove their heads, maybe.
I'm sorry?
Remove their heads, maybe too.
Remove
Yeah.
their heads. Yes, exactly right. Take all their lands to, and a number of other things. But what they're saying with this is you can't see, because then it becomes a political partisan job of destroying your enemies. With this, the only thing you can do is kick them out of office. That's all you can do, making it so that it's
Right.
not, so that it doesn't turn into some kind of partisan dogfight. Not that we've ever seen partisan
No.
dogfights.
Never.
Keep it from being a witch hunt.
But that's right. But you can see that this is kind of what they were trying to do. This is what they wanted to do. They wanted to rein in this. What Parliament used to do was to rein that in and not have it turn into that kind of a thing.
An interesting point to me. I'm reading this other book called Conceived in Liberty by Murray Rothbard. Shella would be proud.
Yeah.
And I got to the point where to clear some of the words, I had to go to not WikiLeaks, Wikipedia. And
Oh.
I discovered that there was this thing called the Glorious Revolution of 1688.
Oh yeah. Chris Ann Halls talks of it.
Okay. But there was at least 100 years of warfare between the Parliament and the king, the English king, because the king was Catholic.
Yeah, that's actually in my Your Rights book also.
Oh, wow. Impressive. Well, anyway, Parliament won under Oliver Cromwell in, what was that, about 1680 maybe earlier?
Well,
And he actually signed the death warrant of
Yeah.
King Charles the First.
that was
Whoa.
that was 1642 or something like that.
Yeah, probably so, yeah. You imagine
right.
that after you've impeached the president, removed him, now you sign his death warrant. Woof.
Yeah.
Well,
Pelosi would
think
be happy.
There are some people who would like to be able to do that.
Yeah, exactly.
Ah, you know.
All right. I'm sorry. I stopped somebody from reading. Who was reading?
Teresa,
Teresa.
I was
Okay.
reading.
You can finish it up from this,
at the party.
from a semicolon here, or a colon here.
Oh, in there, okay.
Yeah.
But the party convicted shall nevertheless be liable and subject to indictment, trial, judgment, and punishment according to law.
Good.
And then, yeah,
And that's,
punishment is limited to losing office, current or future.
I'm sorry.
I was reading that part. Punishment is limited to losing office, current or future.
The
Oh,
sidebar.
On
She
the right.
read the sidebar.
okay. Yeah. Yeah, go right ahead.
Yeah.
All right. Um,
Okay.
All right, well, that was Article 1, Section 3. That's the Senate. That defines what the Senate is. It defines what they do. It defines what's special about them and what their qualifications are and all that kind of stuff. And we've come
Wow.
about to the end of our time.
Now, where does it say
Wow.
what they're supposed to do? Is that still to come?
Uh,
Or
Well, what they're supposed to do is in,
it's still to come?
well, no, it's in Article 1, Section 1. all legislative power here in granted shall be vested in Congress.
Now, why are they making laws, and why does the House make laws? What was the purpose in that? Like
Oh,
anybody
okay.
can make a law.
All right, well, this was part of the Great Compromise, because the big states wanted to have the legislature devoted completely and entirely on population.
Right.
And if that were the case, it would be there would be only one House of Congress. It would be basically the House of Representatives. It would be and that would be run by the large states. New York, Pennsylvania, and Virginia
Massachusetts.
would run the whole show.
And Massachusetts.
Massachusetts, yeah.
And the smaller ones, Delaware,
Rhode Island.
New Jersey, Rhode Island, and all of those would basically have no say. They would just be the tail that's kind of following the rest of the dog. They would be overwhelmed at all the time. So they didn't want to go for that. Now, the original Articles of Confederation had basically each state had one vote, so it was by state. Well, the big states like Virginia and New York and Pennsylvania continued to be outvoted by the small states. And they're going, we don't want to have that because these small states are running us around and we have a larger population, but we're going to be, we can't get anything done because the small states keep running it. So I said, I'll tell you what.
So
Let's do.
could I interject?
Yeah,
I can
go ahead.
answer the question. Marty,
Yes.
the Senate is to represent the interests of the smaller states, and the House of Representatives is to protect, advance, improve the life of their citizens. So the people, the House is to balance the interests of the people, whereas the Senate is to balance the representative of the states. And to get that balance, you have to have agreement in both houses, both legislatures, Senate and representatives.
Both chambers, yeah.
Both chambers, thank you, that's the better word.
Yeah.
So you're getting, again, a balance of interest, or interest groups even.
Okay, because I never had I never really got the real concept that the both of them are basically made to make law.
Yes.
They
I
both
I
have
always
to-
thought the Senate maybe came later and because
No.
with and started to do that. But
No,
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 that
some-
was set up to do that.
No,
No,
yeah.
some bills originate in the Senate, others originate in the House. The budget process is supposed to start in the House, but last session we had budget bills start in the Senate, which is unconstitutional.
Actually, Howard, we'll get to that, but not right now.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay.
Thank you, Howard.
But we do have also the Senate is supposed to represent the states, which was as I was talking about, that it represents the power of the states, so there's a buffer between this national government and the citizen, so you don't have this huge national government pouncing down, being oppressive on the citizens. You have a buffer between them, and the Senate is supposed to help keep the states intact in that.
So this example might be the national government says everybody has to wear a mask, and the state representatives, the Congress, says no, we don't in our state. We have our own regulations or whatever.
Well, now that's federalism. That's federalism, and it's a difference then between what powers have been granted to the national government. The national government has never been granted the power of public health.
No, it hasn't.
No, it
Tell that
hasn't.
to them.
So it cannot go and say everybody has to wear a mask. But each state does have the power of public health, and so
Within their state, yeah.
Each state can say yes, and one state can say no, and that's and different states can do different things with it, and that's why we have the situation we do now. Some people wear masks, some people don't, or some states allow masks. Some states require masks and some states don't. And the federal government cannot come in and mandate it one way or another because they are not granted in the Constitution. The Constitution grants the national government certain powers. It never granted them that one.
Correct. Good. Woohoo. Didn't grant them the power of education either, but look at they took it.
Well, they didn't grant them the power of education. They didn't grant them a lot of powers of a lot of different things, but they managed to take it by bribery.
Yep.
Yes.
And that's called grants
Yep,
and aid. And
Right.
we'll probably talk about them a little later, but you know
Not tonight.
what? Our time is up.
Thank you so much,
Ooh,
John.
let's
And
have
next-
2-hour sessions.
And
Yeah.
next time we're going to do sections of Article 1, Section 4, 5, and 6, which is basically setting up business for the government, for the Congress, and you know that like they have to keep a journal, you know, and different stuff like that. 4, 5, and 6 got some interesting stuff in there, and so I'll see you all at that time.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Agreed.
you.
Good job.
guys.
Thank you, everybody.
Okay.
Okay.
See you next week.
See you next week.
All right.
Bye,
Okay.
y'all.
Bye-bye. Thank you, Teresa. See you later.
Okay, you too.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Kevin. See you later. Okay.